As we all know, the issue of gun violence is plaguing communities both large and small across the country. And joining us now for more on this are the mayors of two American cities, New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell and Cleveland Mayor Justin Bibb. We thank you both so much for your time tonight. I believe that Mayor Cantrell, we're having a little bit of technical difficulty with you, so I'd like to start with Mayor Bibb. Mayor, a 10-year-old died this morning in your city after police say an aunt was handling a firearm and shot through the ceiling. What do you think is the single biggest problem facing your city when it comes to guns?
Proliferation of guns on our streets. We have a state legislature that believes anybody, regardless of their mental health state, should carry a gun. They just passed a bill that now allows folks in our state to have a gun without a permit. So it's making it harder for me as a mayor of Cleveland to keep our streets safe day in and day out.
And Cleveland has certainly seen a spike in crime by young people in particular. As we know, the suspected gunman in Uvalde was just 18 years old. What do you think should be done to help and detect warning signs, in particular from troubled youth?
Red flag laws would go a long way to make sure that these youth don't get access to illegal guns that plague our streets. We, across our city, are taking an all-of-government approach to make sure that young people have productive things to do when they leave school. Programs like midnight basketball, summer youth unemployment programs as well, too, to make sure we can keep them off the streets this summer.
And Mayor Cantrell, I believe that we do have at least some audio from you at this point. So I'd like to just get a sense, in the first 6 months, your state has experienced 16 mass shootings, the highest rate per capita in our country. What do you feel needs to change, not just in New Orleans, but in your state at large?
Well, in the state of Louisiana, I would say we have to definitely address gun laws. You know, we have a state where in the legislature, the session is nearing an end, but wanting to put forth laws that would allow anyone to carry and just open carry. And so these types of laws, you know, that are being pushed to be created, it takes us a step further away from addressing gun violence in the state of Louisiana. In the city of New Orleans, we're staying major focus on prevention, collaboration, and a real focus on personal responsibility. You know, nothing stops a bullet like a job. And so really trying to uplift guaranteed income programs for youth in our city, even as it relates to making sure that people have access, to workforce training and development. But at the same time, mental health issues, addiction, these things are plaguing our communities as well. Gun laws have to be addressed.
Nothing stops a bullet like a job. That is quite prophetic, really, there. And Mayor, also, New Orleans is host to a variety of massive festivals and parties every year, as you know, from Mardi Gras to the Crush of Summer festivals. Are there any plans underway to try to better safeguard these types of large gatherings in your city?
Well, the large gatherings in our city have proven to, one, not be filled with gun violence. We have been able to host major events, not just Mardi Gras. We have the NCAA, the Final Four. We just had Jazz Fest. We've hosted thousands of visitors in our city, and we've done so, and we've kept them safe as well. And so we have a unified command that is not just our New Orleans Police Department, however, coupled with state police, with FBI, federal partners as well. We're all hands on deck city, and especially when it comes to protecting our residents, but absolutely visitors as well.
And as we just saw in the piece earlier, the governor of New York taking matters into her own hands and making laws, putting them on the books with regard to gun regulation. Are you in talks, to both of you, with the governors of Louisiana and Ohio as well, similarly, to try to get those laws on the books there?
Hey, we're trying to not only, well, go ahead, Mayor, Brother Mayor, go ahead.
I was just going to say, absolutely. I'm a Democratic mayor in a red state. Governor DeWine, right here in Ohio, just gave us a grant today of over nearly $2 million to address violence prevention in my city. But we have to do a better job of making sure these Republicans know how hard it is to keep our city safe with these very dangerous gun laws.
And Mayor Cantrell?
Well, I'm absolutely working with my Democratic governor as well, and actually having him push to veto last session and even stopping this legislation from moving forward this time around. We have to emphasize safety, registration, and licensing in the state of Louisiana and in this country. And it's something that I'm committed to working with my governor on, but every elected official who believes the same and wants to uphold what we know the vast majority of American people want. We need gun laws, no doubt about it.
And lastly, I understand the two of you know each other. I'm curious to know if there's any advice that you've given to each other, any discussions that you've had or might have right now, as far as work that could take place in each of your cities that you've seen perhaps already work in your area or beyond. Mayor Bibb, I'll start with you.
Absolutely. As Mayor Cantrell will attest, when you're a mayor, you don't have the privilege to punt it off to the next congressional session. You got to get the job done. So we're sharing best practices around a guaranteed income for youth and women of color in our respective cities. We're looking at best ways to have trauma-informed care to support young people that have been hardest hit during this pandemic. And Mayor Cantrell and I share this belief that how we invest in our cities and address climate change must look at violence as a key aspect to prevent violent crime all across this country.
And Mayor Cantrell.
Absolutely. And Mayor Bibbs and I was together a couple of days ago speaking about pilot programs, particularly the Mayors for Guaranteed Income. We both believe that getting to the root causes in terms of prevention and ensuring that people have resources so that they can take care of themselves and the like. And so we're definitely working hand in hand. And even as it relates to youth development and focusing very heavily on our young people and really wanting to deter them from a life of violence and crime. So we're committed to it. It helps us not only stay focused, but it helps us really stand together and be a unified voice in this country where mayors are on the front line every single day. And so with our continued efforts to collaborate and share and work together, we're hoping, collectively that we can help our people throughout this country. But we know that mayors are on the front line of it. We can't hide.
Mayor Bibb, Mayor Cantrell, we thank you both so much for your time. Really appreciate your insight in talking with me tonight.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.